Brooke, right? Brooke. Block.
Okay. Thank you.
Hello today, maybe if you want. And Laura at home, if you want to get something similar to a block. And if you have a pillow, we're going to be using some props today. If you have anything at home that you can grab that are something similar. When I'm at home, sometimes instead of a block, I can use a can of soup. I'll use a big can of soup to bring the earth a little closer to me. So we'll be using that. Or not.
Thank you.
The great thing about yoga is that you can use it or not. We'll get started in about 1 minute, see if anybody else is coming in. Okay, well, we'll go ahead and begin. So welcome. Glad to have both people in studio and online. This is Bariatric Yoga. I'm Tracy, and I'm really glad that you guys have set aside time for yourselves, for self-care. And I'm glad that you're here to practice with me. I love practicing yoga. The best part about it is that it's practice, and we practice progress. We don't practice perfection. So thank you for being here with me. We're going to start in Sukhasana, which is just an easy seat. And that looks different for every yogi. You can crisscross applesauce, legs straight out. You can zigzag them, whatever is nice and comfortable for you. And we're just going to ground ourselves and get centered to just bring ourselves here into the moment. Because the best way to care for the moment, the best way to care for the future, this is a Thich Nhat Hanh quote, the best way to care for the future is to care for the present moment. And the best way for me to get grounded and centered into the moment is to practice a breath, a breathing exercise. And so we're going to borrow one from the military today. And they use a practice called the 4-box practice or the 4 corner practice. So we're going to begin by just centering ourselves, so getting grounded. And anytime in yoga I'm practicing, I want to, on the in-breath, practice getting tall with my spine. So sending the crown of the head tall, the in-breath, and then practice grounding the sit bones on the exhale breath. So anytime I can think about doing that, on the inhale breath, growing tall, on the exhale, grounding down into the seat or the feet, whichever case is, if I'm sitting or standing. So this breath will start on an inhale count of 4. And you can visualize this, closing your eyes, closing off the eyes softly, or keeping them open and actually drawing with your hand. Or we're going to start drawing a box with our eyes or with our hands on an in-breath count of 4. Breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and holding at the top, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, hold, 3, 2, 1, inhale. Continue breathing in this fashion without my count and on your own inhales and exhales. I'll be silent. Continuing into almost a meditative breath, beginning to relax the body, softening the muscles, picturing the box or the square, settling into the moment. Continuing with 2 or 3 more rounds of the counting breath. Then gently returning to your normal cadence of breath, just normal inhale and exhale, preferably in and out through the nose. And then beginning to allow the fingertips to fall gently to the sides of the body, tickling the earth, checking the spine, it's nice and tall, up straight. Perhaps a gentle gaze down to the floor. We'll begin some movement by taking a big inhale breath. Arms will come up high to the sky, and the palms will come together to introduce our mudra for the day. Allow the palms to gently fall down in front of the chest and the thumbs to tuck into the heartbeat. Our mudra for today is just the hands, the palms pressed together, which is a sign of connecting so that the right part of the brain works the left part of the body, and the left part of the brain works the right part of the body. So this mudra is said to connect the two together by this force of push and pull. So you can actually increase this stretch or this mudra at your own pace. So you can just gently allow the palms to touch, or you can increase the muscle tension and build your own muscle at whatever strength you desire by intensifying that push and pull. So it's always up to your own self, your internal force, as to how intense you would like to work on this mudra today. So again, let's bring the arms back down to the sides, tickling the earth, and inhale, arms come high to the sky, bring the palms together, and practice this mudra. You can push and pull here and feel a different intensity. It's a little more difficult to push and pull here. And then allow the hands to gently come down into the heart space and rest. And one more time. Inhale, arms come high to the sky. Pushing together at the top. And then floating them back down to your heart space, tucking the thumbs here into your heart. One more round of breath. Allowing the hands to gently fall down in front of you. Anjali Mudra. And now we'll bring the hands down to the knees with the palms facing up. And one more focal practice to bring us here into the moment. We're going to take the thumb and allow the thumb to meet each one of the fingertips. So bringing the thumb to touch the pointer finger, and then the ring finger, and then, the pointer finger, the middle finger, the ring finger, and then the pinky. And gently closing off the eyes will intensify the mind's ability to do this. So gently just allowing each finger to touch the thumb one at a time. And then pick up the pace. A little faster. And then maybe even a little faster now. Okay, yogis, switch directions, pinky first. Might need to slow it down a minute. And switch directions again. And then switch directions again. I always do better when I'm concentrating and not cueing. Okay, maybe blink the eyes open and just resting for a moment and thinking about how you did. Big in and exhale, in and out through the nose. Maybe a big smile on the face. And let's just take a moment to set an intention for the rest of our practice here. You've made the time to dedicate bringing the mind and the body together with the spirit. Setting an intention, an I am statement, a sat nam. In the present, I am. You fill in the blank. I am happy. I am peaceful. I am content. If nothing's coming to you, perhaps returning to that 4-count breath. And if nothing is coming to you, a simple I am statement is enough. We'll flip the palms onto the knees now so that they become an anchor. And we'll begin some seated cat-cows. On an inhale breath, we're going to push the heart space up and to the sky, lifting the chin up, really get some movement in the spine, using the hands as an anchor. Really lifting the heart space, lifting the chest. And now on an exhale breath, rounding the spine, tucking the chin into the chest, rounding the shoulders. Again, applying pressure between the hands and the knees. And then inhaling, looking up, pushing the heart space out, rolling the shoulders back. And yogis, just beginning to move with your own breath. Pushing the breath out, rolling out the spine, rolling the shoulders, tucking the chin. Inhaling, bring the heart high. And just move with your own breath. You might even find that some organic movement begins to feel nice here, or perhaps rolling all around feels nice instead of just the back and forth. Perhaps some barrel rolls starting to move side to side, back and forth. Our bodies move in such amazing ways. So this is your chance to just roll with it. Sometimes I peek around the studio and I see people doing things that look yummy, and so I then begin to do that. Some neck rolls might feel good here. Just loosening up the body. And whenever you're ready, yogis, just find some stillness. And return to that 4-part breath. Softening the body, aligning the spine. Begin to make our way into a table position. So on our hands and knees. If for whatever reason hands and knees are not good for you, this next move, we're gonna do some bird dogs. So if hands and knees are not good for you, this can be taken on your back. I'll show that in just a minute. So in table, we wanna make sure that our belly button is tucked into our spine and our gaze is straight down, creating a nice firm back. And then bird dog will begin with our right leg. We'll kick that back. This might be enough. From here, we'll lift up for a little more intense pose. The most intense pose, if you're feeling super spicy, would be to lift the opposite arm. And then we're gonna bring the knee and the elbow in together. I'm gonna demonstrate this on the back. So if the front isn't working for you on hands and knees, gently roll to your back. And the motion is exactly the same. You'll bring the you'll bring the left knee in. So the right leg is straight. That would be the least intense version. If you would like to lift the leg off the ground, a little more intense. And then the opposite arm would come out straight. Again, less intense is to let the arm be on the ground. If both arm and leg are off the ground, we're then going to lift them to meet the elbow and the knee together in the center. You can lift the head off the ground for a little more intensity. And then reach both for the opposite ends of the room. And then knee and elbow come together. And then release, reaching both for the opposite ends of the room. Opposite knee and elbow come together. Reaching back for both ends of the room. Opposite knee and elbow come together. Reaching for both ends of the room. Two more. Knee and elbow come together. Awesome. Reaching for both ends of the room. And last one, make it count. Knee and elbow come together. And a nice big stretch at the end. And then lowering back down. So if you're in table, returning all four to the ground. This time we're going to kick the left leg out. If you're on the ground, just switch positions. So you'll have your right knee will be tucked in and your left leg will be straight. You would like to lift the left leg up off the ground. The right arm will come out straight. Gravity always wins in yoga. So if you're off the ground, please know if you fall over, completely normal. And then as soon as you're ready, the knee and the elbow will come to meet in the center. And then extend back long. Knee and elbow come to meet. And extend long. Come together, meet. And then reaching for both opposite ends of the room. Meeting together in the center. And then reaching long again. Two more, stay with me. Meeting together in the center, knee and elbow come together. Extend long. And last one. Meeting in the center. And then reaching long. And then we're going to make our way back into an easy seat. And if you were able at home to grab a pillow of sorts, or if you're here in the studio, we're going to grab our bolster. We're going to send both legs to a wide-legged, seated wide-legged position. And yogis, wherever is comfortable for you. That's what I love about yoga. Completely individual. And we're going to just have a beautiful stretch here. So this bolster is awesome because you can rest right here and get a beautiful stretch. As you begin to walk forward, the bolster can go with you for support. Or you can lay the bolster down as just bringing the ground up a little bit towards you. So in our wide-seated, wide-legged forward fold, go ahead and begin the stretch by just giving me about 30 or 40% of what you believe is a good stretch for you. And we'll gently ease our way into it. Our muscles are extremely protective of themselves. So they prefer that we gently ease into stretching them out. Take a big inhale breath in this position, sending vital oxygen to the muscles. And on your exhale, walk your hands forward just a little bit to see if you can deepen the stretch by maybe 1 or 2%. Inhale breath, sending oxygen to those muscles. I can feel them stretching. And on exhale breath, walk just a little bit further. And then release any tension that you may have grabbed a hold of in other parts of the body that are not being stretched. Really letting go of stress so that the muscle can truly get the focus it deserves. And then one last stretch. Inhale to prepare, send some vital energy to the muscles. And on your exhale breath, just walk out maybe 1 or 2% more. You'll feel it. Not too much, just enough. And then hold there and perhaps return to that 4-box breath. And then gently, very gently, walk yourself back up out of the stretch. Gently setting the bolster off to the side. Bring your feet together in front of you, soles on the floor, knees bent, and just placing the hands behind you, your hands behind you, windshield wiper out your knees. That was a long stretch. And then we're going to practice just lifting ourselves up off the ground, building muscle using our own weight. So the best case for the best protection for the wrists is going to be to have our fingertips pointed towards the toes. So if that's not comfortable for your wrists, everyone's different. So you can play around with it as you begin to just slowly placing the soles of your feet about hip distance apart. And the fingertips are, in my case, pointed forward. And they're right underneath my shoulders. I'm just going to start playing around by tucking my belly button into my spine to create an energy lock. This is just core work, core strength and shoulder work. I'm going to just lift myself up off the ground and then gently lower back. It's always on an inhale breath that I prepare the body with vital oxygen and energy. And then on an exhale, I lift the body up, and you can just play around with how high you would like to go. And then gently lowering back. So inhale to prepare. And on an exhale breath, lifting yourself up. You may find that you can lift higher than you may have thought in the beginning. And then gently lowering yourself back down. So this last time, inhaling the breath, and on the exhale, seeing how high you can really get those hips, perhaps all the way to a reverse table, even allowing the chin to go high to the sky, feeling free to come down all the way to the ground whenever you're ready. One last challenge. Stay right where you were, if that felt good for you, would be to extend the feet long to come into a reverse plank. If you feel like playing around. Beautiful. Wow. That looked amazing. So several variations of this one. This would be a full reverse table. And then I just saw in studio a beautiful reverse plank. These are excellent ways to really build the muscles in the shoulders and in the core body. Awesome. Okay, we're going to make our way to standing position. So however you best get there. To move back a bit. And yoga is notorious, and I love them for our salutations. So we're going to start with some half sun salutations. And they incorporate our mudra. And a half sun salutation will begin in a mountain pose. And mountain pose is, again, with any yoga position, any asana, you can create your own resistance. So our feet, all four corners, are firmly planted in the ground. There's an internal rotation that happens with the feet. So I'm twisting the feet in, while at the same time I'm using my upper thighs to twist out. And so I create my own internal and external resistance, which creates muscle mass. So interesting. The belly button is tucked into the spine, and the pelvic floor is pushed forward. And that creates also this beautiful straight spine. The shoulders are rolled back and away from the ears, and the fingertips are down to the ground. They can be out, or they can be straight next to the body, completely up to you. The idea is that we're pulling energy up through the ground. And so we're going to throw the hands down to the ground and inhale up them high to the sky and bring them up to touch the palms together in that Anjali Mudra we practiced earlier, pushing them together as best we can, using the core strength of the body, maybe a nice smile on the face, and the hands gently coming down in to touch the heart center of the body. And then throw them back down to the ground. Inhale, coming back up to the sky, palms together, and then a beautiful forward fold all the way down to the ground. A gentle, generous bend in the knee if that's necessary. Also hinging just at the hips. Coming all the way to the ground, and then adjusting your stance if necessary. My feet are about hip distance apart. All the way down, and then yogis, just let it all go and hang out for just a second. Let the head go, let the shoulders go, let the cheeks go, let the hair go, tongue, let everything just fall out. Shake the head yes to affirm everything that is serving you today. Shake the head no for things that are not serving you any longer, and let them just dump out of your head onto the mat. Inhale, come to a halfway lift, creating a neutral spine parallel to the earth. Exhale, back into your forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Arms come long, wide, and high. Up to the sky, palms together into that Anjali Mudra, and then bringing them down into your heart space. One round of breath here. In and exhale. Inhale, arms wide and high. Come to touch the center. Exhale, forward fold all the way down to the ground. We'll pick up the pace just a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms wide and high, palms together at the top, Anjali Mudra. Hands to heart center. One round of breath here. Inhale, arms wide and high, Anjali Mudra, hands to heart center. Inhale, arms wide and high. Swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise, arms wide and high, palms together at the top. Thumbs tuck into the heart space. Beautiful forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Together at the top. Heart space. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, root to rise. Palms together at the top. Into the heart space. Forward fold. And then without cueing, on your own, a sort of meditative space. Forward fold. Inhale, root to rise all the way to the top. If you need to take a peek at me, please do. You can close off your eyes. There's no right or wrong. Whenever you are ready, finding some stillness in a mountain pose. Just finding a very grounded space. The sun salutations are meant to create a very still place in the body. And it's a great space to move into a balancing pose. We'll use tree pose today. So starting, you either foot, because we're gonna do both. I love that about yoga. God gave us two sides, not my fault. So we'll plant the left, I'm gonna start with my left foot and just planting the left foot as my center and the right foot as my kickstand. I'm just gonna bring the toe to the ground. And finding a drishti or a gaze, something that's not moving out in front of me to create some balance. And then switching feet. And then switching feet again. This time, perhaps bringing the foot up to the calf, if you feel comfortable doing so. Keeping a drishti can be helpful. Also, using the breath can be helpful. And also remembering that gravity always wins. And then lowering that foot down, trying on the other side to come to the calf. And then returning to mountain pose. Our last tree pose, you can stay here, touching the ground. You can come to the cat, or if you're feeling super spicy, you can come up high on the thigh, never on the knee. And then we're gonna add to that our mudra. So we're gonna bring the hands either high to the sky in Anjali Mudra, or here to the heart space for Anjali Mudra, and balance. Remembering that the foot placement is not what's important. It's the centering of the mind and the body and the spirit together. The push and the pull of the mudra, returning to your breath. and to your satnam, your I am state. And when you're ready, returning to mountain, planting the right foot, deciding where to kickstand your tree. And then bringing your mudra into your asana when you are ready. Can have it high. Bring it into the heart space. It's not important where your footing is, so much as it is practicing the unity of the mind, the body, and the breath. Awesome, yogis. Okay, our next asana, we're going to send our feet wide on the mat for a wide-legged forward fold. Here's where, if you have a block, you can bring the floor or the ground up to meet you. So if you're at home and you grabbed a can of soup or a box of cereal or something that can bring the ground up to you, it's helpful. Some people are super flexible and can get all the way down to the ground. I'm not one of those. So we're going to start by widening our stance. It can be as wide as you're comfortable with, and then gently hinging at the hips, keeping the spine as straight as we can. If a bend in the knee is helpful, go for it, yogi. And then just finding a comfortable space where you can really get inverted. This inversion pose is so helpful to the heart, the flow of oxygen in the blood flow, the direction in which it flows. So really getting to a place where you can turn yourself upside down and do so comfortably. The blocks go both ways. You might heel toe your feet in a little bit if that's more comfortable. Some nice deep in and exhales here. Paying attention to the body's breathing when it's upside down, what that feels like. And then when you're ready, a gentle bend in the knee, and we're gonna find ourselves gently rising up into a goddess squat. And a goddess squat is going to have us bending at the knee and cactusing out the arms. Goddess squat. From our goddess squat, we're going to come straight up, give ourselves a break, and we're going to again find, I know the camera's a little off, we're going to find this mudra, our Anjali Mudra up at the top. Or if you're feeling a little tired, you want to come here, totally fine. And then we're going to return to our goddess squat. Inhale, coming up to a T to our Anjali Mudra, or finding it here. And exhaling back down into our goddess squat. Inhaling back up into a T. And exhaling back down into the goddess squat. Inhale, back straight up. And exhaling back down into our goddess squat. 2 more, yogis. You got this. Inhale up. Exhale back down. Last one. Inhale up. Back down. Make this one count. We're going to hold it for a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and all the way back up. And heel toe those feet together and return to a mountain pose. And then just shake it out. Whew, that was a lot. Good job. Awesome. And now we're going to rest, finding ourselves on our back in a supine position. So however you want to get there, good to me. So gently just rolling ourselves down onto the backs. Keep your blocks handy. If you have a block, a can of soup, it won't work anymore. So gently rolling down to the back. We're going to do a reverse pigeon. Some people call it a figure 4 stretch. So knees are going to be bent. We'll keep the left sole of the foot planted and take the right foot, cross it over the left leg, creating a sort of a figure 4. And we're going to bring the hands and we're going to take the right hand and squeeze it through this beautiful opening we've created, and then clasp the hands behind the left knee. And then some ankle rolls with the left ankle might feel nice here. If you go in one direction, please go in the other. And then you can gently begin to bring that your left knee in towards the body for a nice stretch here. You're in charge of the intensity of the stretch. You can also place the right elbow on the right knee and give a push for some intense stretching there as well. Whenever you're ready, unclasp the hands, gently bringing the foot to the floor, and switch sides. So the right foot is planted, the left foot joins the right knee, slipping the fingers through, clasping them together behind the right knee. Some ankle rolls if that feels good. Making sure to go in both directions. And then a gentle pull of the leg in towards the body. Sending breath wherever anything feels tight or sticky. The left elbow can be used as an anchor to create a deeper stretch. When you're ready, unclasp the hands and gently lower the feet back down. In our last asana, we're going to do supported bridge. So keeping the soles of the feet planted and the knees bent. If you would like to use the block for supported bridge, or you can use just regular, you can use no block for regular bridge. The hands are coming to the side. I'd like for you to recognize that you have a curve in your spine, so it's off of the mat, not touching the ground. On an inhale breath, gather some energy, and on the exhale, push that round out of your spine so that everything of all of your back is touching the earth. Just noticing that you can do that. And then on an inhale breath, just allow it to return that natural curve. And then on an exhale breath, push that natural curve back out, and then allow the hips to rise high to the sky and the weight to roll into your shoulders. And then if you can take your block, you can place it underneath the hips. And then rest there for supported bridge. This is a fantastic hip opener and requires very little effort on the part of the yogi. So I lied when I said this was the last asana, because when I'm here, it reminds me that I can easily move from here into supported waterfall, which if there was one asana that I would suggest ever, it would be waterfall. So from supported bridge, it's very easy to simply balance the legs and send them straight. I shouldn't say easy because it's not. That's why it's called legs up the wall or waterfall, because if you have a wall, you can use the wall for support. Then it's easy. It's not easy if you don't have a wall. So if you can get one leg up in the air, that's awesome. If you can get both legs up in the air, that's amazing. So this would be supported waterfall. And any length of time that I can stay in this position, I'm inverting the flow of blood. And that is always so healthy for the veins, the heart, the arteries, the capillaries. All right, yogis, whenever you're ready, gently lowering the legs back down and removing any supports or props that you have and finding a comfortable position for Shavasana. If you're in studio, I'll come around with some eye pillows and a washcloth. You can wrap I'll wrap it, the washcloth around the eye pillow. If you would like to cover your eyes to block out light. And we'll take about 2 minutes to just lay down for a quick body scan. Shavasana is Sanskrit for corpse pose. So laying all the way down, just allowing the body to completely relax. Allowing the feet to flop open, the hands to flop open. Allowing the eyes to gently close off. The tongue to fall loose in the mouth. Sending breath all the way to the toes. Allowing the mind to wrap around the feet and up the legs. Noticing any sensations that are happening there. Relaxing all the muscles in the legs. Sending attention to the hips, and the organs, your heart space. Noticing the rise of the chest cavity on your inhales and the fall of the breath on the exhale. Taking your attention to your shoulders, all the way down to your fingertips. Wrapping your mind around your neck, your chin, your lips, your cheeks, your nose, your beautiful eyes, your forehead, your ears, all the tiny hairs on your head. Begin to wiggle your fingers and toes, sending a breath of gratitude throughout your whole body for the work that it's done here this evening. Rolling over to your right side. When you're ready, rising up into a seated position. Big stretch might feel nice. Full body stretch. We'll take one last breath together. Send the long fingertips long to the ground. Big inhale breath, arms will come high to the sky. Find that Anjali Mudra up at the top. One last drop of the thumbs into the heartbeat. Please know that the light in me bows and honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you for practicing with me.